one thought at a time.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Changing Minds Online Empowering Women series. How are you doing today, Jessica?
I'm doing awesome, Akina. Thank you. You know, it's such a beautiful time of year here. You know, I think I said this also on Sunday, but I just love autumn and New England, New Jersey, New York area. It's such a gorgeous time of year, and I'm so excited about when I see all the colors of the leaves changing. You know, obviously we're big on changing here, and, you know, it's just changing your mind, changing your life. It's wonderful to look at the world around you and just see a reflection of what's going on in our own lives, just in the environment. And it's such a refreshing reminder of really how beautiful change can be. And I know we're going to be talking a bit about changing tonight, right?
Yes, we are, Jessica. We're going to be talking about transformation through journaling with our very special guest tonight. She is an author and a dream life coach. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Krista Nelson. How are you today, Krista?
I'm fantastic. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Akina. Hi, Jessica.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. We're both so glad you're here.
It's my pleasure, and I love the whole idea of change with this season in particular. I feel so fortunate to live on the East Coast where I have 4 seasons and can experience change year-round. And it's just so nice to, put ourselves right in sync with the change of seasons and to be talking about change and transformation through journaling.
Yes, yes. And, when I would think about this topic, I do think about change as well. So tell us about how you incorporate transformation through journaling.
Well, journaling is so personal, right? I mean, it harnesses the power of our own written words. And words are powerful. I mean, we take them for granted, right? We know that words are powerful. This is what contracts are made up of, scripture. It's about words. The things that we say, to nurture one another, the things that we say to hurt one another. So we know that words are powerful. And our own words, especially the messages that we send to ourselves, are extremely powerful, right? So I may get messages from the media, from my church or my temple, my teachers, my mentors, my parents, my children. I can get a lot of messages throughout the day, but how I interpret those messages and translate them into the messages I send to myself are extremely powerful. So when you take these 2 things, the power of words, the power of your own internal dialogue, and add to that the power of the printed word, we're talking about some really strong energy here. So what I have realized over a lifetime of journaling is that when we journal in a very special way, when we journal about that which we want to attract into our lives, and we read those messages back to ourselves as if it's happening now, we get our subconscious involved in manifesting what it is that we want to see. So you can actually use journaling as a tool to realize your heart's desire. And it sounds like it's really simple, but what's also at work here are 2, or I used to always say 2, but there's really a 3rd major ingredient. The first 2 are knowing what it is that you want, right? And the second is believing that you can have it, believing that it's possible, believing that you're worthy, believing that you can have it right now. And the 3rd is being able to receive. So you're journaling, you're using the printed, your own words, your own messages to yourself. You're clarifying what you want. you're energizing that belief mechanism, the believing that you can have it now, and preparing yourself to receive your heart's desire. I get excited when I talk about it. I coach people through a 6-step process using the journal, and it's just so exciting to watch, for me to be in the coaching seat, to watch people transform their own lives.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome.
It's a lot of fun, and it's very powerful. It's very personal, and it works for everyone all the time. Some things you're able to manifest quickly. Some things take more time. Again, they have everything to do with your perception. Also about, again, knowing what you want, believing that it's possible, and being able to receive.
What I really love about what you're just saying is, and it's interesting, because I actually, when we spoke, Krista, I had said earlier to you, I never really journaled, and when I heard the topic about journaling tonight, what I thought, honestly, we were talking about was going to be keeping a diary and a record of your trips, and I remember having a diary when I was a kid. But I love when you're talking about really writing what you're manifesting and what you want to manifest. That's something that I do all the time, and I never really thought about it quite as journaling. I had always thought about it in the context of, writing myself notes and love letters, and those are things I do all the time. I take time often to just write down what I want my life to look like. And it's amazing, and I wanted to share this really quick story before you give your 6 steps, and if you're listening to this and you're anywhere where you can take notes, write these steps down. I know I'm going to be writing these down. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to hear them. But, it's interesting because I actually got a book, and this was the Law of Attraction, I believe the Law of Attraction workbook or handbook. It was put out by Jack Canfield, and I did an exercise in this book, and what it asked us to do is to write down what our ideal life would look like. And this was around, I want to say, 8 or 9 months ago. And I wrote it down, and I wrote it in this book. And I had, since then I had moved. And recently, as I was unpacking things, I found what I had written down. And the amazing thing about it is, despite having forgotten it, I was actually living that today. And I had written that my ideal life would be to be living in my grandmother's house, which I had wanted to be able to purchase. And I said I would be sitting in my backyard as a full-time entrepreneur. I would be sitting on the deck, and I said I would be drinking a cup of tea and just appreciating how amazing my life is. And when I got that book out, the amazing thing about it is in that moment, I was in my grandmother's house on my back deck, writing a gratitude journal and drinking a cup of tea. And it was
incredible.
Literally down to the second. And it was as if I had taken a snapshot and gotten back in time and written what my day was going to look like. And it's
beautiful.
So powerful, and it's so amazing. And I believe that we're created by the divine and that we can do anything. That we truly have the power to manifest and do anything we want, right? The Bible says, ask and you shall receive. And I believe that we can create our lives, truly create our lives, and that's a power, a gift we have in sonship with the Creator that we were given, and it's amazing. And I just so believe in what you're talking about in your message, and I know it's this, if you're listening tonight, like I said, write these down, because this is such a powerful exercise and activity that can really help you completely change your life.
I love that story, and I would say that when you were writing about the life you wanted to have, you had a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling, a lot of strong feeling, that went along with the belief, and images in your mind of exactly what you wanted to have. And that feeling is so important to this process. I've been able to guide women and men to reveal their wishes and their dreams, just like you had about in your grandmother's house, and to help them step by step to put those wishes and dreams into place and to build momentum around them so that they can energize their confidence and self-esteem and have better relationships and know that they get to choose what they prefer to do with their lives. And I think that a lot of us have had some experience with journaling, and then we sort of we don't really pay attention to the power of what's happening with the things that we've written down. We sort of forget about them. You either have a pleasant surprise, like you did, or we just kind of forget what's happening. A lot of times we use a journal to vent, or just sort of have a conversation with ourselves. Journaling is cathartic, it's relaxing, and it's a form of self-expression. But when you journal in a very purpose-based way, and I'll walk through the steps with you now, beginning with just journaling the facts of your life. So in step one, you're simply even just a bulleted list. It doesn't have to be a narrative. A lot of times people think that they have to be a great writer to journal or to do what we're talking about here. But just simply capturing a couple of facts, actions that you are responsible for in the course of your day. And they may be as simple as, I went to work today, or I made my children breakfast, something that you did. And this step is about having an awareness of what you're doing in the course of your day. Sometimes we feel like, what we do is routine. We're sort of like on the hamster wheel. We just go through the motions. We're not really paying attention. So step one is practice. The first 4 steps actually are practice for step 5. So they seem very simple. And for people who love to journal pages and pages and pages of all their emotions and all their feelings and everything they've witnessed, this is a very difficult step for them because we're pulling all of that back and making it really bare bones, just the basic facts of what you did today. You ask yourself, what did I do today? Okay, I got up early. I made some breakfast. I went to work. I came home. I went to the gym. Basic. In step 2, you're making it vivid. And it's more like when you were writing in your journal, Jessica, about what it's like being in my grandmother's house. So you're taking those basic facts, but now you're being descriptive. You just want to add descriptive words and phrases. And in my workbook, I offer up a bunch of descriptive words and phrases to help people just use some that they use all the time and maybe some new ones. But it just helps to bring the journal to life so that if you were to look back after a week or two, what you journaled about you could actually relive because you could see, smell, taste, touch, hear what you were seeing and smelling and tasting and touching and hearing when you actually journaled those facts. So that's what I encourage my clients to do when I'm coaching. I say start with the facts. We might spend a week just journaling the facts. And then the second week, we make those facts descriptive, and we ask for a report from all 5 senses. What did I see? So I went to work. Well, what did I see on the way to work? What did I smell, if anything? What did I hear, taste, touch, etc.? So you're bringing it to life. In the third step, third week of journaling, say, or whatever time period we're talking about, you journal the facts, you make it vivid, and you identify your preferences. So now you're it's like as if you're on Facebook and you get to hit a like button or an unlike button about what happened in the course of your day. You've got your anecdote, and now you're annotating it. Well, I went to work, and I went into the side door, and it was the air conditioning was on. It was very cold, and I went to the staff meeting, and we had donuts and coffee. And now I'm going back, and I didn't like the air conditioning. It was too cold. I'd rather have something healthy for a snack, but I love going to work, and I was happy to see the staff was there. Whatever you like, you are addressing, and what you don't like, you're addressing. And it might be as simple as doing a little happy face with the things that you like and an unhappy face with the things that you're ready to let go of. You wouldn't mind if you never had that cold air conditioning ever again, until summer, of course. So those are the first 3 steps. You guys still with me? Should I continue?
Yes, please.
You keep going? Okay. I want to make sure you're there, hanging on. Step 4 is the most dramatic step of all. It's the one I really love. You've journaling the facts, you're making it vivid, you're identifying your preferences, and now you express gratitude for all that you like and everything you're ready to let go of, all the good, all the bad, right? The cold air conditioning, the donuts and coffee, the work, the ride to work, you express gratitude. So you start off with a gratitude statement that I'm so happy and grateful for everything I encountered in my day. You go on from there with a little bit of meditation, and we're just sort of focusing on the breath, and just breathing to become very present and mindful. And now you rewrite anything that wasn't optimum. So any part of your day that had an unhappy face or a minus sign or whatever you used to indicate something that you were not really crazy about, you rewrite it. You rewrite it to indicate how you would have preferred things to go. Now, this is really important. Step number 4, you're opening up the imagination. Now you're giving yourself to do that magical thing that Jessica did, sitting in her backyard writing about being at her grandmother's house, imagining, creative visualization. What do I really want to see happen in my life? You know, I'm going to rewrite the piece about the air conditioning. I went to work and the temperature was just perfect. And instead of donuts and coffee, we had granola and yogurt or cream of wheat or whatever I would love to have for breakfast. And you get to say, you know, you have the final word. So it's not about what somebody else thinks you should like or not like. It's not about what you've learned in school or what your managers would say at work. It's exactly what you would prefer. So you're finding your voice. You're making your stand. You know, there's so many little pieces that are being activated here that have to do with building confidence and going on to being able to manifest. So I call myself a dream life coach, but really in the core what I'm doing is coaching people in confidence and manifestation. Well, step 5 is journaling from that which has not yet happened. You're journaling from the dream life, and you're journaling in all the ways that you've already practiced. The facts, they're vivid. It's what I prefer. I express gratitude. I meditate, and I write my dream life, exactly how I'd love for my day to go. Maybe I didn't even go to work. Maybe I got on a plane and flew to Paris, whatever my dream is, you know? And step 6 is also one of each step is my favorite, but step 6 is a special, special favorite. We don't wait till all the other 5 steps are out of the way to start step 6. We actually begin with step 6. Step 6 is maintenance and the development of a life condition that keeps you up, keeps you positive, keeps you optimistic, so that you can journal your dream life. You know, some days are hard days. Some days you get out of bed and stub your toe. You know, some days your friend is sick, a relative passes away, and you're really not feeling like you're on top of your game. How do you recover quickly? How do you cope with a disappointment or a setback? Well, that's what step 6 is all about. In step 6, you are doing a myriad of things to nourish your mind, body, and soul with goodness. And in my book, in my journal, I have suggestions for exactly how you do that. I have a grid that has resources, suggestions, ideas that you can pull from, do something every day that helps you to expand your intellect, helps you to become inspired, and help you to love yourself more fully, so that you always feel like you have the resources to rebound from any kind of setback, and that you have a high life condition, which is critical to creating the life of your dreams. So those are my special 6 steps.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing those, Crystal. A lot of people will definitely benefit from those nuggets. And I was just thinking, as a journaler, and I know many other people are journalers themselves, who may have been writing in one way, writing the way, like Jessica thought, just diaries. How would you tell someone who is already an avid journaler to switch into your 6 steps? Is that usually a large process, or are they able to adapt quickly?
Everyone that I've worked with has been able to adapt, and people sort of adapt to their own degree. Those folks who really want to write about all of their feelings, or they want to vent, I give them one word of caution. What you focus on, and you'll hear this, I love the mentioning Jack Canfield, people like Lisa Nichols, Mike Dooley, wonderful motivational people out here have all been teaching us that what you focus on, you bring more of into your life. What you think about, you bring about is like the catchphrase. So in my dear diary entry may have a whole lot of kicking and screaming and fussing about that which I'm not happy about. This is the stuff you really want to let go of. This is not what you want to fill your journal with when you're trying to manifest your desires, because what you will manifest is more of the stuff that makes you kick and scream and bite and fuss and cry. And I would say, I would challenge anyone. This is what I had to challenge myself to do, is to think about the journals that you've kept. And while I think tears can be cleansing, the time that we've spent really complaining and fussing and worrying over things, really, all we did was get more of that. We maybe even became experts at that through journaling about it. So that's what I say to people who are used to journaling a certain way, and I'm saying scale it back to just the facts. Make the facts vivid, indicate your preferences, rewrite history, and journal your dream life. You may want to keep a separate diary for the other kind of writing if you really insist on doing that. But in this path to creating the life of your dreams, you want to take these 6 steps and practice them and see what happens. I have a book that's called Create Your Dream Life in 6 Steps or Less. There's a tutorial in there. It's very clear. It talks about how I arrived at these 6 steps, sort of the backstory, where I come from, how I got here, and a tutorial. Then I also have a workbook that steps you through the 6 steps in explicit detail. There's inspirational quotes to keep you going. There's space to write, beautiful photographs that inspire you. And I also have a blank journal, my Dream Life Journal, which it has that guide to step 6 that I mentioned, nourishing your mind, body, and soul with goodness, and space to write your dream life, to journal from your dream life. This is a lot of fun. It's very exciting.
So you can get on a very
Oh, I'm sorry. Say again?
I wanted to say before you go into that, you hit a very pivotal point because when you said changing the way that you write in your journal is like changing your energy and changing your mindset. I love that point. A lot of people may use it for an outlet, for a vent session, but that's not really what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about manifesting and seeing yourself for who you really are, your ideal self, and moving towards your greater. And a lot of people don't see it that way. Thank you so much for bringing that to the forefront, because a lot of people really need to hear that. And they really need to know that they've been journaling the whole time. They've just been journaling in a different way than what they've been told a journal is.
And I have respect for people who need to a place. Some people are very lonely and they don't have anyone to talk to. They don't have any way of expressing their true and honest emotions, and so they want to write their feelings into a book. And I don't want to take that away from people, but I do want your listeners to understand what they're doing in some way. What they're actually doing is sharpening that ability to feel bad. By focusing on that, you need to give yourself permission to let go of that which isn't serving you. Let go of that which is not that's not worthy of you, and walk in the light of what you really want to bring into your life. Feel that energy. It's very empowering. Feel that you are able to choose what kind of career, what kind of job, what kind of relationship, what kind of body, hair, skin. Who am I becoming? Who do I really want to be? Let me write about that. Let's get excited about it. Let's feel, positive energy behind that. Let's draw it into our lives. Let's attract it into our lives.
Yes, I'm excited about it just hearing your energy. So, yes, let's get excited about it, right?
Let's do it.
But, I want to definitely give you a chance right now to tell us about the book. And I do believe you mentioned a special offer for the listeners.
Yes, I would like to, invite your listeners to sign up with me for a free coaching session, because the 6 steps speak to everybody individually. And when you have a free session with me, you can see what the possibilities are for you, and you can also see what it's like to work with me. If you send me a note at contact@justgetitdonenow.com, that's the name of my coaching business, justgetitdonenow.com. Send me a note for a free coaching session, and I will have that free session, and I will also send you a free Dream Life journal to write in. So you can have a brand new journal, and the journal comes with that guide to nourishing your mind, body, and soul with goodness. So it's a lovely 6x9 journal. We'll have a free session. You'll see what it's like, and everybody gets some action steps, things they can do right away. You can start journaling right away. And I'm excited. It just really fills me up. I'm very fulfilled when I work with people in this way.
Wonderful.
The books you can also get through the website. At www.justgetitdonenow.com. You can see videos about me. You can get more information about the books, and sign up to get my blog and for a free coaching session.
Wonderful. And are you on all the social medias as well if they want to reach out to you?
Yep. Just Get It Done Now is on Facebook. It's on Twitter. Krista Nelson, Facebook and Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. Connect with me. I'd love to hear your journaling experiences. I'd love to coach with you. I'm actually looking at, I've been doing one-on-one private coaching, but I'm also going to be starting a group coaching session, which makes coaching a little bit more affordable for some folks. We get like 5 people on the line, and we map out a series of sessions to cover the 6 steps and sort of coach through a group and share with each other, which is also very powerful. You learn from other people.
Awesome. Well, we're getting close to the end of the call, so what would you like to for the audience to take away from our session tonight?
Oh, my gosh. You have the power to change your life. You can transform any situation that you're facing. You can transform it through journaling. The power is in your own written words. It's very exciting. Begin to think about that. Expect good things to happen. Think about your successes. Think about appreciating yourself. You can begin to build confidence that way, starting tonight. Just before you go to sleep tonight, think about all the wonderful things that you did today, that you accomplished today, little things. Think about how wonderful you are as a person. Write them down. Read them back to yourself. Start building confidence in that way, and understand that you do have the power to transform your life. Just get it done now.
Yes, love it. If something that Krista said today resonated with you, please find this podcast on changingmindsonline.com. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and, of course, YouTube. Jessica, do you have any final words for us tonight?
Krista, I just really enjoyed the show, and I'm just so powerful. I am actually, I was given an assignment to journal what I want my ideal work day to look like, and I'm going to get off this call, and before I go to bed, I'm going to do that assignment, and I was given that to by one of my mentors, so fitting for what we're talking about. I'm excited about it. I'm going to go do it now, and I urge everyone else to really just also journal tonight before they go to bed what they want their life to look like while this is fresh in their head. So thank you so much. You really blessed me with what we talked about, and I know you blessed our audience as well. I'm really grateful for you.
Thank you both so much. I hope you'll have me back again. We'll do something else with the journaling. We'll move on and get a deeper level of these steps. I'd love to come back.
Absolutely. We'll have to talk about that for sure. But, we always end our audience the same way, and just letting you guys know we really just love you so much. We're so grateful for you. And, we are just so, in awe every week that you allow us to be a part of your journey. So on that note, God bless. Make it a really powerful week. And, Akina, is there anything else you want to add before we close out?
I just want to thank everyone, and, of course, thank Krista for being our very special guest today.
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks to all of your listeners.
Absolutely. Well, have a great night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night, everyone.